One of the mistakes I see people making all the time when they contact me, they're starting a business. They may be taking over an existing business, or they may have an idea. They may have an idea themselves and they're going to start something from scratch. And the mistake they make is that they're undercapitalized. In other words, they fail to take into account what they really need as professionals to get their business going. In other words, you might have them looking to take cut corners in relation to getting a consultation or getting a lease assessed or checked. I forgot my tripod today, so I'm going to have to leave it sitting there. But they may have taken cut corners and decided that they don't have enough money to get the proper work, legal work done in relation to, for example, getting a lease checked out or getting their obligations checked out, and provision made for perhaps setting up a company or starting a website and having the correct policies and procedures on it. And essentially they have a limited amount of money, they're tight for cash, and they're haggling over the consultation fee. They're asking, it's obvious, quite frankly, it's obvious that they are on a shoestring and are going to get into trouble. And they're going to get into trouble because they're not prepared to do what they need to do. In other words, carry out the proper due diligence in relation to whatever it is they're embarking upon. So, say it happens all the time. I understand people's enthusiasm with a view to starting a business. I understand people's drive and passion and so on and so forth, but you really do have to be careful that what you are proposing to do is something that you actually have adequately financed and adequately thought through. And cutting corners or taking shortcuts, etc., is not a great way to start off, and is a recipe for failure, quite frankly. And most businesses, most startups will fail within the first 6 months. So that's the vulnerable period. That's the period when you're trying to establish yourself, the period when you're trying to get new clients, new customers, maybe new products, etc., etc. That's the time when you really need some adequate capital to keep you going through the difficult times. This is the bridge here in Enfield. That's the bridge out of the village across the Royal Canal. But the bottom line is, people understandably want to start businesses and are enthusiastic and so on about it, but they really do need to consider the capital that they need, consider having adequate resources, and then something to carry them over. Because, as I say, one of the mistakes I see people making all the time is simply not having enough capital and basically taking stupid shortcuts, not having a lease checked out properly, not having, for example, the title to the lease, the planning permission, rates, etc., etc., checked as well in relation to the proposed premises, not looking into the question of existing staff, perhaps transfer of undertaking and so on. So all these things need to be looked into properly, need to be investigated and reviewed properly, and rushing headlong with a good idea or something that you're really interested in is a disaster, is a way that's guaranteed nearly to fail. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you do, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up down below. And as I say, this is something that I have observed myself, and I've started quite a few businesses myself down through the years in various industries, various industries, and some physical and some not physical and so on. But bottom line is, you pick stuff up, you learn as you go along, and you notice things, and you try to steer other people clear of the mistakes which you know are common, and repeated.
Yeah.